Hi, you guys. Okay, P Valley, season 2, episode 6. Savage. Okay, the episode starts off with Diamond and Big Bone, and they is getting it in, okay? But all Diamond can think about is Mississippi. So after they get done, Big Bone is drinking some water to refresh herself, and she noticed Montavia's ring. Now, the way she took note of that ring, it made me think that she knows that ring. So she goes over there and she goes towards the ring trying to touch it. And Diamond come out. He like, you want warts to be all over your face? You want your titties to be on your back and your legs turned backwards? So Big Bone is like, no, that wouldn't be a good look. She asks him, what about this ring? What's up with this ring? And he tells her that's for protection. Big Bone said, it look like you don't need no protection. Diamond is looking at his phone, and Big Bone asks him, what's that about? And he tells her, yeah, it's about this job that he's going to do security for a space game. So Big Bone asks him, why don't he do security at the Pynk? Was you down there trying to save one of them hoes that didn't want to be saved? And Diamond's like, where you hear that from? She tells him it's not what I heard. It's the fact that when I'm fucking you, you be looking away. And I'm going to need you to look me in my face. So, round 2, they gets it in. I don't know about this because now I'm not trusting Big Bone. Big Bone was eavesdropping when the girls was telling her everything about they was talking about Diamond, what had happened. Now, she could have her eyes on Diamond and disinterested in him, so she's just picking up stuff. That could be one thing. Or she's there with an agenda to come there for Martavius and see what's really going on, what happened. On Murder, he out there with his red and green crew. I guess they the Gucci crew. And they're this all out, and Big Teak is there, and he looks at Little Murder like a god. I mean, he is so captivated by him. He's in love with him. I mean, can you blame him? Little Murder, he's over there, and he decides to honor Big Teak by buying him a new car, and Big Teak is so overwhelmed. He's up there crying. Little Murder asks him, was he okay? And Big T, he can't even come up with the words to say anything. Also, Little Murder, he knows his friend. He knows what he goes through mentally. You can tell that he knows him inside and out. Next, they go to the barbershop, and Teak is getting his hair cut. And Little Murder is telling him, like, soon as this tour is back on and popping, you coming back on the road with us, and you going to be the security. You don't have anything to worry about. Just reassure him that he is going to have a job. He will have a purpose. Barbara going to ask Little Murder, what you saying something? He was telling him, look, if your music ain't in that jukebox, it ain't popping. In the midst of all of that, Little Murder get a call from Mississippi. She tells him, well, Rome, he tried that with me. What you mean he tried what with you? He tried it. So Keyshawn is a grown woman. She takes off her clothes to make money. She's a dancer. And she can't even say what someone did to her. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody deals with it differently. And sometimes a person can't just come out and say it. But this is very childlike to me. It's very childish. But it kind of would make sense because all these years, Mississippi has been protecting her abuser at home. So why wouldn't she protect Rome? She tells Lil Murder that he tried it, and Lil Murder said, well, I'm glad that nigga did then. He also tells him, like, look, I told Wody what happened, and she was trying to say, like, it's crazy that, I told him what happened to me, and he also knew that Rome knew about your secret. What secret? What you mean? He knew about it. She can't even come out and tell him that. But the conversation gets interrupted because Derek walks in the room. Keyshawn, who are you talking to? She gets off the phone. Little Murder, he decided to wait outside for Big T. Now, once Big T gets casket sharp, he come on out, and Little Murder's like, he's just tripping off of it. He's like, damn, it's just funny how you shit change in one day. And Big T said, life for us is short. That's why we got to live it to the fullest. And he wants to drop Lil Murda off. And Lil Murda said, look, I thought I'd be riding around the hood with you all day. So what's up? And Big T is like, man, all right, okay. Derek is over here asking Keyshawn about who was on the phone. She tells him Lil Murda he was just wanting to know about Rome funeral arrangements. And Derek said, you know what? That's sad. That's fucked up. That happened to him. Rome was a good guy. Of course he was a good guy. He paid the bills. He was bringing in the money. And he mentioned that he said, he got you hooked up with all those endorsements and things. He tells Keyshawn that he's going over to Justin's to help him with his fire pit and asks her, did she want to come with him? And Keyshawn is like, no, and she's pointing to her face. And, as to say, her face is fucked up because he fucked her face up. So he takes his tired ass out. Keyshawn, as soon as he leaves, she jumps up, she grabs the babies, and she's packing stuff up. She uses her cell phone on the coffee table because remember, he has a tracker on it. And she gets in a car, and the car wouldn't start. Baby, it's 2022. Cell phone nor battery should stop Keyshawn. And did Keyshawn already have some money set aside, from what she made down there? Did she take the money from Rome? I'm assuming not, because she took her ass back in the house with the babies, and now she's sitting there looking hopeless. And I forgot to mention that she did grab the gun, the pink gun that was Haley's, that Haley gave her in season 1, that night at the bar, and told her that, look, if you need to use this, you use this. And that's the gun that she threatened to shoot her knight in shining armor, Diamond, for her white knight, Derek. But yeah, she's sitting there looking like a broken bitch with that gun that she needs to shoot Derek with. Okay, down at the Pynk, Big Al done cut Haley's water off. Not like Lamar did on the TV show BMF, but he literally went outside and cut the hot water off. So Haley come out there like, what the hell? I paid the water bill. What's going on? And Big Al said, but you ain't paid me. Him and Uncle Clifford, they over there fucking with Haley because, she trying to sell the Pynk. They not fucking with that bitch like that right now. Haley tells them to cut the water back on right now. She got to go somewhere. And Uncle Clifford, he had this dress that Haley was about to put on after she get out the shower or whatever. Uncle Clifford said, yeah, where you wearing this to? Where you off to? What's this about? So Haley, she just snatched the dress from him and going back by her business and told them to cut the damn water back on. Uncle Clifford is talking to Big Al and he tells him, yeah, I'm going to just have to kill the bitch. And that's what I think he needs to do. But Big Al, he's like, no, we have too much blood on our hands right now. And he also tells Uncle Clifford, like, look, I done got a good price on the air conditioners, which was like $5,000 on top of what they have to do for the re grand opening. And he's like, Uncle Clifford is losing it. He's like, look, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. So Big Al, he's like, yeah, you sitting up there talking about you going to show some feet online for somebody. You might have to do that because look at here. And he shows them an Instagram flyer that was posted up on Roulette and Whisper's page. And they are hosting an annual space game. It's like P-Valley at the annual space game. They're doing promotion for that. And Uncle Clifford said, yeah, remind me to sue their asses for copyright infringement. Uncle Clifford, he may not sue them, take them to court, but he definitely is going to get a cut of that, what they made that night. Yeah, he going to want that. Run that by him. Yeah. Thank you. Uncle Clifford is frustrated, and he's like, look, Haley didn't even do shit, and she has the upper hand right now. And we can remember Uncle Clifford only had a $50,000 lien, basically, I think, on his mortgage there. And he would have lost it, yes, but Haley came in to save the day, but they also saved her life, and she's forgetting that's a big part of it. And I get what she's saying also. It's $10 million worth that she know that she can get. She know her shit. But this is sentimental to Uncle Clifford. This money can't buy this for him. He suggests to Big L that, look, we should just turn her in and pin it on her. And Big L reminds her, like, yeah, but she's not the one who pulled the trigger or buried the bodies. So he can't do that. So all Uncle Clifford can do is try to figure out Haley's next move. Okay, Mercedes, she takes some groceries over there to Shell and Terica because she know what they've been going through with Shell been going through as far as her drinking and everything. She putting groceries away in the bare refrigerator, and she goes to throw some old molded food in the trash, and she sees some empty bottles, like a few bottles. So she asked Shell, "You need help? What's going on with you?" Shell was like, "No, girl, I'm good. All I need is a job, and one that doesn't require a pole." Like throwing shade at Mercedes, saying, that stripper shit. So Mercedes like, yeah, girl, whatever. But do you remember when you was drunk as shit? When a minor was driving your drunk ass around? Yeah, that night you called Terica a mistake. Shell was like, oh no, I could never do that. She started crying, and Mercedes said, look, I can take Terica for a minute. And Shell, she just thinks that Mercedes want to take her for good, and she's like, no, you ain't slick. You pushed her out, but I raised her. She gonna stay right here with me, safe, not in that hellhole hood you live in. And I'm like, damn. But even though Shell did call Terica a mistake, it doesn't mean that she doesn't love her and want the best for her. She raised that girl up, and she do need a break. I mean, at this point, Mercedes and her need to co-parent. Terica is what, 15, 16? Like, she'll be grown soon. She'll relieve some stress and give Terica to Mercedes. Mercedes get the fuck from out of there. And Mercedes, she been trying to catch up with Terica, but Terica been running in these streets wild. I mean, teenagers does do that, but you gotta keep a tab on their asses, or they'll just be on all types of shit. Meanwhile, Coach and his wife want to meet up with Mercedes. He called her, he wants and let her know. And Mercedes like, damn, I just want to spend some time with you. And Coach is like, Farrah wants you, happy wife, happy life. I gotta do what I have to do. Mercedes, she like, okay, whatever. She put her best shit on and going over to the condo. So while Coach is making his sex potion, Farrah calls it Viagra and some type of herbal drink or something. And Farrah is digging all in Mercedes' cookies jar. Like, girl, just greedy. Calm down before your husband see us. Coach, he brings over the stacks, and they are all ready for the Mercedes experience. Well, the problem is, while they were in their session, Coach was present, but Farrah and Mercedes, they got into it amongst themselves. They done forgot he was there. Child, Farrah thought she was in the candy store. Okay. And Coach, she is like, he's not having that. What the fuck? What y'all fucking? I know what the fuck two bitches look like that fucked before. Snatch Farrah up and blame Mercedes for turning out his wife. And he's talking about taking his money back. First of all, Farrah said she might like pussy more than she like dick. Now, after 19 years being married to some dick, I don't think that Mercedes would have been her first one. I think they just was putting more into it, trying to make it seem like she's suffering within her sexuality, which she may be. But come on now, it's 2022. Or she may not like pussy more than she like that money. Well, Farrah calls her husband out for being selfish and not thinking about her dreams or caring about her dreams. And Mercedes said, yeah, what about her dreams? Like, Mercedes, you should have just stayed in the corner. Okay. Coach, he grabs Mercedes, pushing her towards the door with no stacks this time. Okay, nothing. And I'm like, Coach, that's not right. Coach talking about both of them broke his heart, how Mercedes was just supposed to be for him, and telling her that her sponsorship expired. Farrah tells him, like, no, that's not right. You had a contract and we don't do that. Coach said he does not give a fuck. What he say is what he said, okay? He take them stacks, he leave them bitches where they at and go on about his business. And Farrah, she passes Mercedes her stripper heels. And Mercedes is just leaving with empty pockets and an empty heart. Like, oh my goodness. But of course she was going to choose her husband. Child, like I said, she don't like pussy more than she like that money. Little Murda and Big T are out eating, and Little Murda, he kind of jolly because the waitress was flirting with Big T. He mentioned to Big T that they was on a date or whatever. Big T, he thought about it. He said, damn, I never would imagine we would do it so proper. So now he's reminiscing about back in the pen how Lil Murda set up a romantic dinner for the two of them in jail. Big T also mentioned that all of this is new to him, and we see him struggling with this. And a lot of people that go to jail does struggle with this. Also, Big T is struggling with a lot of other mental and psychological stuff that cause him to fall deeper into his old past. Like, he want those days back. Moving on is too much for him, and it hurts him now that his boo thing that moved on as well. You know, he don't know how to take it. Big T asks about Clifford. Lil Murda explains what Clifford means to him. He said, Clifford is like an eclipse. And I'm like, oh, meaning that Clifford is rare, you know, and special to him. Murda tells Big T, and I fucked up. Big T said, it seems like you do that a lot. It does seem like Little Murda. Little Murda is that romantic type that will get you all sucked in. As soon as he do something, he has a flip side that he could just make you feel like cold and empty as well. Like, dang, you know how it is when you with somebody that is so romantic and loving. Even the mere thought of them showing that another person that type of affection can just make you mad. Lil Murda, he tried to put his hand over Big Teeks, and Big Teeks said, not today, Satan. Because these Negroes will play with your emotions. One day love you and the next day not so much, you know. But Big T does tell Little Murda that he forgives him. And the two spend the entire day together. Now they're at the gas station filling up. And Little Murda, he hears his song with Tina Snow. DJ Never Scared looked out and hooked him up. The song is thumping at the gas station, and Big T, he's looking at Lil Murda like he's a god. Big T is pumped up for his boy, like, I knew you would make it. I knew you would make it. And he is kind of Big Murda's number one supporter. He was one of his supporters when, you know, he was in the hole, writing that slaw. Lil Murda was sending Big T that slaw. We done came a long way. Lil Murda is damn near in tears. He has fans now, and it's just a good feeling. Now, over at the spades game strip thing, Roulette and Whispers are having a dance off to Lil Murda's song, and Roulette killed it. Okay, so after the set, Roulette gets a call over by the guy who paid $1,000 for some dick suck. And he wants Roulette to set him up with Whispers. He's willing to pay her $2,000 to let him eat the cookie box. Well, this made Roulette feel away because she wasn't offered the luxury to lay on her back and get pleasure for $2,000. Look at Diamond over there doing security. He'd do security anywhere else but the Pynk. Has to protect his energy. Okay, I don't blame him. We see Roulette over there looking at Whispers and, oh boy, the trick. He over there They over there dancing or whatever. And we don't know if Roulette set the thing up for Whispers, did that arrangement. But I think that she did set it up. And instead of giving Whispers 2,000, she gave her one and pocketed the other one. Now, that's finesse. That's finessing the game, like Big L told her to do. Okay, it's the end of the night, and Roulette is sitting in the parking lot smoking, and here come Duffy as he was up there supplying the party with the drugs. And he hunts down Roulette. You know he love him some Roulette. He's infatuated by her. He up there telling her how beautiful she is. She is the most beautiful woman in the world, and this makes her smile so big and bright. She tells him that that's nice and all, but she's a hoe. I'm like, girl, what does that have to do with anything? He did not need to know that yet. The thing is with Roulette, she seems so insecure. I think that's why she walk around with this rough and hard exterior. Like, girl, chill out. Well, maybe Duffy will bring out the softer side of her. We'll see. And I hope that she don't feel jealous over the thing with, she does feel jealous about what Whispers was offered. But, I mean, she just got to learn from that. You never know what you can get out from these dudes. You have to be the finesser, not the finessed. Like Big L told you. Haley took her boring dog country costume wearing ass down to Andre's gala. Andre gets on my nerves as well too. He's trying to get endorsements for his campaign, so all the cream of the crème is there in the building. Andre is talking about the people bringing the idea of the casino back, like his goddaddy was working on before he passed. He said it will bring unprecedented wealth to this poor town of Chuckalisa. The crowd, they wasn't seem too all sure about that. He got a few claps. Well, Haley ass, her country ass coming in talking about, I got a question. What makes you think prosperity for all is possible? Andre, like, he's getting choked up. I'm like, what is the big thing? What is the big thing? He getting choked up like Corbin is mad. He's getting choked up. But he says, because I should have been a statistic. But because of Mayor Ruffin guidance and funding, he was able to go to Morehouse. And there he obtained a career and he got his success. And he planned to do for the same thing for all the underprivileged Chuckalisa children. Now, the crowd, they like that. And the Black Cow brother, he is in a tizzy. He doesn't want Haley ass there. He sends her back to the strip club. Kick her ass the fuck out. But Haley Colton, Lakeisha Savage, Autumn Night, she sticks around and plots her next move. She meets a woman who gets her past the door, and this woman is caked up too. Now, this woman wants promised land badly. She's willing to offer Haley a much better deal and endorse Andre. Well, she's like, look, I'll endorse the devil himself as long as I get my goddamn casino. I'm sorry, she's willing to offer Haley a much better deal on the Pynk, the property at the Pynk. You know, Haley mission is to sell the Pynk. After the gala is over, Andre is on the phone with Corbin as he come in his house, and they're talking about Haley wearing her ass out. But Andre, he's so much is just happy that he got the endorsement. While Corbin, he is livid at the audacity of Haley to do what she do. Corbin is like, she doesn't know how things work around here. Yeah, Corbin, because you're trying to get $1 million worth. You're trying to get what the Pynk's worth is for pennies. For pennies. You know, it's worth millions, like Haley said, but you're trying to pay tens of thousands for it. No, sir. No. Corbin is just upset that Haley knows her worth, and he has to lick ass to get what he wants, because even though he has the money, he doesn't have the respect around there. And Haley, she did it in her own clever way. He doesn't like that. While they on the phone chit-chatting, Haley sitting over there in the corner in Andre's house. She done broke in this man's house. Listen to their conversation. She scares the fuck out of Andre. Andre didn't ask the bitch how she got in. All he asked her about her antics and how it could have cost him the campaign. Tells Haley Ash, you just take what you want. Don't give a fuck about no one in the process. Well, yeah, that seems to be Haley. That seems to be right. Martavia said it. We see how she did Uncle Clifford and Mercedes. And now she does not care about no one but self. I'll give him that. Tells Haley, get out. Haley is like, okay. Andre, he goes in, he's like, I let you win at that auction that day. I could have got that, but I let you win. Haley said, yep, you did. You have the control, Andre. You have the power. This bitch is trying to be sexy. What is it that you want to do with it? You're in charge, sir. Tell me what you want me to do. How you want me. Now, I love a man to take control and all this little sexy stuff. But Andre and Haley, in my opinion, I don't not like them. I'm not interested in their storyline. Every time I do see that storyline, I'm like, oh, damn, them again. Like, try to hurry up through it. Because I do not care. But in case y'all do, let me finish. He's telling Haley his commands. Now he's all turned on. And they start making dry love, I guess, whatever it is. I'm sorry, I can't with these two. Uncle Clifford is at home dealing with grandmother who is getting sick. She's coughing, she got a temperature, and Toy calls and tells Uncle Clifford that wasn't allergies, that was COVID. Okay, so she done passed it on to grandmother and everybody possibly down at that club that day. Toya is one of them, we all know that employee that will come to work, coughing, sniffing, leaving their little snot tissues all over the desk. We all know that co-worker, like, girl, you should stay home. Sadie, she's home, pissed about her stacks, and she gets a knock at the door. And who is it? It's Terica in tears with a positive pregnancy test child. Big T and Lil Murda has been together all day, all night. Like two lovebirds. And Big T, he gets out the car and he's talking to, while Lil Murda is talking to Woody, who is trying to put the tour back together. Woody also tells Murda that Big T, he can't come on tour with them. Why? Because he's a liability, like I told y'all he was. Woody said he be acting worse than the ops. He tells Lil Murda, look, I'm trying to get shit back together if it wasn't for Rome ODing and shit. And Lil Murda said, you know what? It's funny that you knew that man OD'd. So at that moment, the phone goes dead, okay? But it was because of Lil Murda's cell phone battery, not that Woody was trying to avoid it, because he said, look, Wood, if you ain't trying to take care of what need to be done, I'll take care of it. And it could go either he talking about firing Big T or what, you know what I know, and I had to take care of that. Big T, he went inside his old childhood home and he's reminiscing, and it's a dark one. We hear a woman's voice and she's going off on the children. And the next thing we hear is children screaming. Big T, he goes in a closet, open the door, and he sees a little boy all bloody. And remember, Big T is visualizing all of this. Lil Murda, he comes in thinking it's a trap house. Like, what the fuck is going on? Asking Big T, why don't he have his strap with him? You know that's what you got. You got to carry this when you come in places like this. And Big T tells him, like, no, it's not like that. This is my old home. So Lil Murda, he must knows what that entails. Maybe a dark past, probably not the details as of yet. And Lil Murda, he tells Big T, look, we leaving it all in the rearview mirror. We're saying our goodbyes tonight. We're never coming back. The two of them ride out, they find a spot and they talking and chilling. Big T, he spit some old lyrics of Lil Murda that helped him get hit through in the hole. And Lil Murda said, damn, he feel bad about that. He said, you shouldn't have been in there, and when you came out, you haven't been the same. Big T tells him, like, nigga, that wasn't my first time. When I seen Boosie putting that knife in you, I saw my mama. She stabbed her daughter in the neck. She stabbed her 5-year-old son in the chest, her 8-month-old baby girl in the head. And All that T can remember is their blood running like a river. And at the time of this, Big T was 7, and he ran into a closet and listened to the screams as it went silent. So this is the first hole that Big T was in, and we seen all of that when he went inside his old childhood home. I mean, man, that's a lot to take in and deal with. So now Big T, he feels like the devil was in his mom, and he was in Boosie that day that he stabbed up Lil Murda, and now he's in Big T. Big T feels like his story was supposed to end in that house. Little Murda, he tries to assure him that he has much brighter days to look forward to, and that tomorrow will be a brighter day. They get back in the car. Big T is trying to drop Lil Murda off somewhere, and Lil Murda's like, oh hell no, you talking all this shit, I'm staying with you all night. Big T, he's like, oh okay, all right. So he pulls a gun out and put it to his head. Get the fuck out of the car. Lil Murda is pleading with him. He tells Big T, I'm not going nowhere. Lil Murda is just trying to rationalize with him and tell him that, you know, the things that they haven't did, the things that they have to accomplish in life. And Big T, he will not put the gun down. But at one point he says, yeah, HVH for life, right? Next thing we know, boom, he kills himself. Lil Murda is horrified. He's heartbroken, and he finds his way to Clifford's. Grandmother, she comes open the door, and Lil Murda, he can hardly speak. Clifford, he comes out, and he sees his baby in distress and takes him in. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is real stuff. This is real. This was deep. They played the fuck out of this part. And that's where the story ends. I gotta catch up. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.